Hey guys, AirT is here, Air for short. Um, I summoned a light and darkness scroll and I got a light high elemental and I was making a video and then the video cut out, so that's not great. So I'm just going to basically make a new one. I summoned this monster and as you can see she's a support type and she's got cross attack, hits the enemy with an energy blast and inflicts continuous damage for 3 turns with a 20% chance. Continuous damage for 20% is not great, it's not a high uh, proc rate. However, once you max her out, it increases about another 20% chance of landing the continuous damage, so it brings it up to about 40, which still isn't very high in my opinion. And we've got Tectonic Shift, strikes an enemy with an attack strong enough to split the earth, ignores the enemy's defense to inflict significant damage. This is a great skill. I know the Fire High Elemental, and I believe it's the Wind High Elemental also have this skill, and there are videos where basically a Fire High Elemental uses this skill and takes out Wind Sky Dancers, also known as Chasins, out in basically one hit. So they can be very, very powerful. I believe a Fire High Elemental is an attack type, and this type is a support type, so I don't know what her attack power is going to be like. And when you awaken her, you get Mystical Blood Transfusion, removes all harmful effects on an ally target, and also evens the HP ratio of you and the ally target. After that, both monsters are healed by 25% of their max HP. So this is great. It's not amazing in my opinion, but it is useful. It's not based on anything like attack power or HP. It is literally just how much percentage-wise HP the two monsters have. Your high elemental and whatever monster you select. So this is a great skill if high elemental has very high HP percentage-wise and another monster has very low HP, then you can use this. It'll probably lower high elemental's HP and increase the other monster's HP and then heal them both by 25%, which is quite a chunk of healing anyways, despite the raising and lowering. Removing harmful effects is really great, though it only works on the ally target. So that's not great, but it can be useful. And yeah, so I mean it's not a terrible skill. You're more likely going to find that high elemental will be the one with the lower HP. These monsters tend to be quite squishy, so you'll probably use that to basically save its butt. Rune-wise, I'm thinking, based on its skills, to rune it as an attack type. So Rage Blade is really good. Attack percentage on 2, crit damage on 4, and attack percentage on 6. And then look for crit rate substats as well as crit damage substats. I think Tectonic Shift is probably this monster's winning skill, and you want it to do as much damage as possible. It also has a leadership ability, increases the crit rate of ally monsters with light attribute by 23%. So that will really help this monster if it has if the leadership skill is being used to use those critical hits and maximize its damage. You can also, if you don't have great rage runes, do Fatal Blade, but ideally you want to do Rage Blade. Fatal runes, same deal, attack percentage on 2, crit damage on 4, and attack percentage on 6. And then crit rate substats. I don't know what else you can do with this monster. I did take a look at somebody who suggested this configuration. It's kind of a mess in my opinion. 2 energy, 2 resistance runes, 2 guard runes. He did defense percentage on 2, attack percentage on 6, and attack percentage on 4. I don't know if I agree with this, but it's not a terrible setup. I mean, he just basically wanted it not to be a very squishy monster and still went for the attack power. I think if a monster's squishy, you have to take that into consideration with who you partner them up with. I used to try and rune monsters sort of well-rounded like this guy did, but I find that it takes away from the monster's abilities, and it's almost better to have your support monsters protecting you and your attack monsters doing their all-out offense. That's the way I play this game, and it seems to work pretty well for me. So yeah, those are some suggestions. I mean, you can go Violent Runes if you want. I mean, Violent's good on any monster. I wouldn't do Focus Runes just because the continuous damage is such a low proc rate. It's not reliable, and so I wouldn't waste your time with Focus Runes. I mean, accuracy substats are useful, but I think you're going for damage with this monster. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, I think, with this monster, to be honest. I can't think of anything that's really better than Rage Blade. I think that's sort of the best way to use this monster. And, yeah, just maximize its attack power. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. If anybody else is using this monster or has any other ideas for how to rune it, please leave your suggestions in the comment section below. And until next time, peace, guys.